Hello, folks. I'm going to actually attempt to make a video while walking around the house, the property, and kind of showing you what retirement after 70, because today I'm 71, what it can actually look like. Some things you can get excited about doing. You can see behind me, this is the garden area that we work on, that I work on. My wife and I both work on it. We got vegetables, we've got flowers. Let me see what else we got. It's my first time using this handheld thing, so my eyeballs will go from the screen, which they shouldn't be on, instead of the camera lens, which should be right here. I'm also going to show you my shop. How do I say work? Okay, it's my shop area back here. So there's a lot of things that you can do that will help not just absorb some of your time, but that can make retirement enjoyable. We live here in North Georgia in the country. I had a deer right out here I was going to show you, but she's run off. We normally have upwards of 30 deer in our yard because no one can shoot them. Therefore, they just keep breeding, and the biggest problem we have with them up here is getting run over by cars. So that does happen a great deal, and we hate to see them dead on the side of the road. It would make more sense if they were in somebody's freezer, but that's not the way it worked. And since I'm having to do this camera this way, what I'm going to show you here next is the greenhouse. So this is one of my earlier projects. I'll show you the shop here shortly. And it was originally a chicken coop and quail barn, but now it's a shop. But this is my greenhouse, and I think I'll flip the camera around so I can show you some of the stuff in it. It's not super exciting, but it is sort of exciting. Okay, so now this is just going to turn into a talking video, which probably makes more sense anyway. Let me back up so I can show you. This is the greenhouse. It's an 8x8. I built it originally just treated lumber. It's probably close to 10 years old now. And it just had plastic over the sides. I eventually spent the $500 and bought these really nice panels that have been on there for a few years now, and I do really well, but it was a good bit of money. Inside, this year I'm trying something different. If you look up on the roof, you can see I've got some shade cloth. It's about a 50% shade cloth. Now, it's not the prettiest attachment, but it works. And it blocks about 50% of the direct sun rays, which would make it impossible to grow anything in here. But I do have, this is the first year I've done this. I've got hot peppers. This one here is just, that's one plant. I don't know why it's so tall. Probably I need to pinch it, but I'm just letting it go right now. And then I've got a tomato plant over here. So I've got hot peppers and tomato growing right here. But in the spring, I'll have all of my plants starting in here. I built a bench a couple of years ago. That has really helped. And I had some extra just closet shelving that was laying around, and I used it to give me more space. But this is one of my, and it's a lot dirty right now. It needs to be cleaned up. But that's one of my projects. The others, of course, one of the others is gardening. And I'll show you a little bit. This is our orchard, if you will. And it's not doing great this year. I don't know what's going on. This is my thornless blackberry, which grows wild. I've got to learn how to do a better job of pruning it. I'm going to cut it all back to about 4 foot this winter, and then try to maintain it after that. I started building these cedar boxes this year, and I built them out of cheap fence pickets, ran them through my saw. I can plane them if I want, but I didn't do all that. I just ran them through the saw so they're all matched. And then, of course, the unfortunately expensive dirt. And I do have some dirt, some compost that we make. And so that helped. But it's almost 100 degrees today, so everything is wilted. And over here, I've got 4 blueberry plants we bought 3 or 4 years ago. And normally they produce, but this winter I did not trim them back. And if you don't trim them, you really get hurt. These are raspberries, same thing. I didn't trim it back. We did get some raspberries. I'm not having the best of luck. If you guys know what I might be doing wrong, leave me some comments. It could be the type of soil I've got in there. I'm not sure. Let's show you a little bit of the house. It needs a ton of work. It's 80 years old. We've been in it for 12 years, I think, this year. We've lived up in North Georgia for 21 years. Got a couple of apple trees. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep them. They do a little, but not much. This is another bed. This was a bed, and I didn't do anything with it but stick this apple tree in it. But I got some late beans, maybe some peppers that are going to make it. If you look down there, you can see I put compost in there, our compost, so there's 1 million tomato plants coming up. Of course, cucumbers growing wild. I changed up my composting method this year to 2 big bins here where I move it back and forth. And this was the old box where the household stuff went. I'm going to build a new one out of cedar this year. But you can see over here, you can tell this was my chicken coop. That was an automatic door. We had chickens for years. Got rid of them. Don't know if we're going to go back to them just because we like to travel occasionally. Bought this rhododendron this year. Thing has been great. Some more just wild cucumbers sprouting up, so I went ahead and made the best of them. Got some flowers growing. Rebuilt our deck this year. It was pretty lousy what was up there. This does real nice for us. We do occasionally get a hummingbird up here. He's been around a few times. But we like what the garden does. It is pretty. Finally found the exact spot for this. Now it looks wilted right now again. It's 3 in the afternoon and it's 100 degrees. But I'm going to start moving more into flowers than vegetables. It's just because at the end of the day, though the vegetables are grown mostly in organic methods. This is a lupine. Did really well this year, flowered a bunch. But they're just, it's so much cheaper to just buy them. And I'd really like to have a prettier garden. So I'm more interested in getting the flowers going. This is a neat little thing here. It's a rain barrel. I've had people say, look, you know, there's carbon you get off your roof. I don't really care about that. It's worked well for a few years. The tulips have gone flowered already. I've got gladiolas here. These are some of the plants I started from seed. They're doing really well. Well, just to give you an idea of how hot it is, I had to take the phone inside and start the video over because it overheated. But we get a ton of birds here. I've got bird boxes, bird houses that I've made. We've hatched nuthatches, bluebirds. Really enjoy this. Of course, the heat's having its way with a lot of my flowers. But just to give you an idea, I've got some turnips. This is a new box also, made out of those fence boards. This is one made out of pallets. And of course, the usual, and here's the birds. Man, during the winter, there'll be 1 million birds in here. But, you know, the usual suspects, tomatoes, purple beans. It's all growing well. Now I'm going to go ahead and give you a quick taste of the shop. We're going to go ahead and go in the shop now and just let you see what I've got in here. It's not massive or not a ton of things, but it's a decent sized shop. And my purpose is just to give you some ideas of what you might want to do when you retire. All right, walking in the front door, I've had some projects I'm working on. This whole building, or these 2 parts of a building, this was the original 8x12 that ended here. Then I added a 10x10 on later. It was primarily used for chickens and quail. I really love the quail, but my wife is not overly excited about them. So turned it into a shop where I do a good bit of woodworking. Got some newer tools, nice table saw, drill press, grinder, sanders, my lousy Ryobi, whatever you call the thing. I can't remember. A 71, remember today. Already forgot the name of it. A bandsaw. There it is. These are the boards that I build a lot of things out of, especially the outside stuff. The cedar fence boards. They're cheap. This is one of my favorite tools I got here, a planer. Haven't used it a ton, but a good bit. And then in this 10x10 section, I get a lot of my tools here. You can see what I don't have in this building yet is an air conditioner. I do have a heater, which of course, this little heater is just about worthless for heating this big room. I normally will use a propane heater. But I got a nice Hercules chop saw. I've got a lot of stuff in here. I built some stuff with my grandkids. And so this is just one more thing you can do to give yourself some time. On the outside, I actually built a deck out this door here. So when I do planing, I take the planer outside. I build a stand for it. It's on wheels. And I do the planing out there and just let the chips blow out in the yard and decompose on their own. So that's pretty much it for the quick shop walk around. So I'm hoping that this little video gives you an overall idea of how retirement can be. I certainly didn't want it all to be negative because it shouldn't be negative. Retirement can be a lot of fun. As I'm shutting the shop down, you'll notice the lights going off around me. And my purpose in the channel, of course, is to observations is what it's called. And I just want to talk about things that I've noticed over the years that maybe will help you to approach this time better. Hear the door trying to slam on me. I hope this time of retirement that you can approach it more positively. And that's my goal. And I hope you're enjoying what you're seeing. Leave some comments. I appreciate it. God bless.